Hey everybody, Levi Hunsaker here. Today we're going to talk about how to create your own mindset of success. Now, when I think about creating a mindset, the first thing I think of is, well, if your mindset isn't right, you might as well not even get off the couch, because mindset is one of the very most important things as you're looking at running your business. And today we're going to talk about some simple steps for you to be able to get your mindset right and be able to get that working for you and your business and break down some of those barriers. So let me know, have you felt like your mindset or your negativity, or you see other people having success that you're not having, and you just think, well, what am I doing wrong? And if that's you, guess what? I've been there. Sometimes I still get there, and it's something that is constantly having to be worked on. But if that's you, put hashtag mindset, because guess what? I am right there with you. So it's something that I work on every single day. It's one of the most important parts of my day, is working mindset. So let's jump right in. The first one that we're going to talk about today, there's actually 5. 2 of them I'm going to actually push to Wednesday, and we're going to talk about practical tips for making things happen with your mindset. So today we're going to talk about some of the mindset things. So the first one is knowing your outcome. Well, how do we know our outcome when we haven't even done it yet? Well, this is part of the process of programming your brain for success. So when you have a goal, you know what you want to achieve. And a lot of times the goals that we tell people are kind of a watered down version of the goal. And what I'm going to challenge you guys to do is think of your end goal. So think of that right now. And if you are willing, I would love to have you guys share that with us, and we'd love to come back and comment and interact with you. But put hashtag goal and drop your goal down below and let us know. But make it your BHAG, your big, hairy, audacious goal. Let it be that dream, that vision, that goal that you want to achieve in your business. Let that be the goal. A lot of times we water it down because we either don't want to scare other people, or we don't want to scare ourselves, more importantly. And just write it down, because now you've told yourself that that's what it is that you want. You're starting to program your subconscious. And be very, very specific in that. As you're being specific with what you want, you're going to get clear, very clear, crystal clear on what it is that you're going to try and achieve with this goal. Okay. Now, the last step of this is knowing versus believing. Do you know that it's going to happen, or do you believe it's going to happen? If you didn't believe it's going to happen, you're not even going to work for it at all, right? But the difference is that you're knowing that outcome has already happened. One of the ways that I have learned how to do this is just close your eyes for a minute and pick that date in the future. Maybe it's a year, maybe it's 5 years, but pick that date in the future, and we're going to travel in a time machine. And you're going to travel in that time machine to that future date where this has already happened. Now, this has already happened, and you're going to think to yourself, oh, I am so grateful that this thing just happened. You're going to start to describe it to yourself. You're going to sit in the moment. You're going to think about, who are you with? What are you doing when you achieve this goal? How does it feel? What do you hear around you? What do you smell? What do you see? Right? You're going to get the 5 senses involved, because you are creating an experience for yourself that it has already happened at that future date in time. So just remember that you can do this with anything. And it's kind of like trying on clothes. You're going to try on a pair of pants and just see if it fits. Sit with it. Spend some time exploring what that moment feels like, and really let your mind and your body feel it with you together. And so you're basically exploring that moment, exploring all the senses, exploring everything around it, and sitting with it. And you're trying it on like a pair of pants. And you know what? If that moment is not your moment after you get done with it after a few minutes, well, that's okay. It's just like trying on a pair of pants. You can take it off, right? That doesn't have to be your moment, but you can go back and you can really do this until you have nailed that down, until you know exactly what it feels like. You're going to take a mental snapshot of that moment, and it's going to have everything surrounding it associated with it. Okay. Now, the second step that we're going to talk about on Wednesday is taking action. So we're going to jump to step number 3, and that is to have sensory acuity. Now, a lot of times we get this goal in mind, and then we get right to work. But we are so focused on what's right here in front of our faces that we can't see everything around us in the periphery. And sometimes we miss some amazing opportunities that are just right beside us that could have achieved our goal. Now, a lot of people say, well, I got to focus. Yes, you do have to focus. But I don't know about you guys, but when I mow the lawn, if I sit and I stare down at the grass and try and make the lines perfect with the lawnmower, without fail, every single time I'm wobbling back and forth, and nothing is a straight line when I'm mowing the lawn. But if I will take a step back, look up from the lawnmower and look at where I want to go, and then just walk straight towards it, my focus is different. I'm not focusing on what's directly in front of me. I'm focusing on where I'm going, what the end goal is. So keeping that outcome, that end goal in mind, keeping the big vision, and then seeing what opportunities may be able to help us get there. And, you know, one of the things that this pandemic and everything that's going on has given us a lot of things that we needed to pivot in our business, right? The end goal didn't change. We're taking action, and we can do some things around that, but we had to pivot, and there was no way to pivot unless you were able to look up and know what was going on around you. Okay. So the fourth thing, we're going to also talk about this on Wednesday, is to have behavioral flexibility. So Wednesday, come on back. We're going to talk about the taking action step and having behavioral flexibility. So we'll jump back into that on Wednesday. And then the last one, tip number 5 here, is that you are going to operate from a physiology and a psychology of excellence. Now, what do I mean by that? So what I want you to do is go back to step number 1, that mental snapshot that you took in your mind. Let's recall that. Go ahead, feel it, enjoy that moment, sit with it. Go ahead, if you want to spend some time doing that right now, go ahead and pause the video and then come back to it later in just a couple minutes. But spend some time thinking about that, feel that, recall that, and do this on a daily basis. Remember what that feels like. Now think to yourself, that person right there, how do they carry themselves? How do they behave? How do they interact with others? What actions do they take? What steps do they take? What are they doing in their business? And how is their confidence level? Right? You're feeling that. Now, does that person blame other people for their success? Well, that's kind of a weird way to say it. Does that person blame other people? I don't know about you, but I've only heard blame talking about failures. Can blame be on successes too? I'm going to let you think about that. I believe that it's possible, but I wouldn't use the word blame because it has a negative connotation. But when you are behaving as this person that has achieved this goal, this milestone, this success that is your dream, that you know your outcome, does that person blame other people or take responsibility for what they did? Now, that doesn't mean that you're taking all the credit. There are certainly other people around you that likely help with your successes. Give credit where credit is due. But guess what? That also means giving yourself credit for taking the actions that got you there. So be okay, own that. It's all right. And sometimes it feels uncomfortable because it feels like bragging, and we're told, oh, you don't want to brag. There's a difference between confidence and bragging. Be confident in your success. Okay? So that mental snapshot, that's linked to your physiology. That's linked to your body, because you can feel that throughout your whole body. All of your five senses were involved in that situation. And that's why you wanted to picture it in that way with your five senses, because you want your entire body involved, and then you want your psychology involved through your positivity. Are you a victim or are you a victor? Personally, I like to be a victor and choose positivity. And that doesn't mean that I don't have negative moments. That doesn't mean that you don't have negative moments. But how long you sit in your negative moments is also going to decide your outcome. So if you want to elevate your outcome, elevate your positivity. And I don't know if you guys have heard this phrase, but this is a common phrase that I've heard a lot, is fake it till you make it. Now, what we're talking about is from operating from a place of physiological and psychological excellence. A lot of people might call fake it till you make it. But I'm going to get rid of that. We're going to throw out that term because I don't believe it serves any of us very well. We're not going to fake anything. We experienced the outcome. We experienced what it was like to be the person that achieved that outcome. We experienced it, so it is a truth within us. Now, instead of faking it, what we're going to do is find an example, somebody that mimics those personality traits, those successful traits that we're trying to mimic, and we're going to model that behavior. Now, is that faking it? No, it's modeling behavior of success. And when we can model that behavior of success, and really, you got to remember, it's going to take practice. The first time you try that behavior on, it's going to feel a little weird. And guess what? That's okay. The next time you try it on, it's going to feel a little less weird. And you're going to get confidence and building into that person and modeling that behavior until it is natural. And that is not faking it till you make it. It is modeling and learning a new skill set, a new behavior, and a new mental attitude, a new confidence about yourself. When you can take those things, you can create your own mindset of success. So what I want you guys to do is let's make this interactive. Go ahead, drop below. Think of one person that you would model and drop their name in the comments below. And if you can think of, or if you're willing to engage in this, put why you want to model them. Think about your outcome. Think about your moment and your experience of achieving your outcome, and write it down on why that person is who you want to model to achieve that outcome. And now you're starting to put this into place. And then come on back on Wednesday, and we're going to jump into taking action and having behavioral flexibility to wrap, to wrap all of this stuff up. And yeah, come on back and we'll talk about this more on Wednesday and really figure out how to take this and put it into action so that you can achieve that success that you're looking for. Have a great night, everybody.